Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Mystic Maintenance with Lisbeth from Alpha Bella y Mystica. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me, Jen. I'm so excited.
Well, thank you for having me on your podcast, Alpha Bella y Mystica. It's out now on YouTube and Spotify.
And Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. All the great podcast locations. It was my first time being a guest, and it was so much fun.
It was great. I think we're getting a lot of good feedback, a lot of positive comments, and people are getting to know both of us.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I haven't really met another podcaster IRL except for Tanya Kubo from Find Your Freaks, but it's so nice to find like legitimate female podcasters in the space. Like I went to your studio and I felt probably how our guests feel when they come here, like, wow, this is amazing.
Yes, it's definitely different being the host rather than a guest. So now this is my first time also as a guest.
Okay, nice.
So I'm excited too. I'm like, ooh.
Reciprocating the energy. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you told me that you followed me a long time ago, then you kind of went ghost on socials, and then you came back and you refound us because of that Winton video that blew up.
Out of all the keywords that you could have used, Winton was it. I was like, I know her. I used to follow her. I was like, let me reconnect with her and see.
Yeah. Do you live in Winton?
I don't. I live in Atwater, but it's right there.
Yeah. It definitely broke containment for sure. I was like, whoa. To this day, people comment, Winton? And I'm like, relax.
At least you're getting the crowd. Winton is this really small, and it's reaching all over Atwater, Merced. So.
Yeah. And then you commented like, hey, I would love to collab, and I checked you out, and I was like, oh my god, another female podcaster in Merced County. So I was like, of course. So that was so much fun. So tell us what your podcast is about, Alpha Bella y Mystica, for the folks that don't know.
Yeah, so Alpha Bella y Mystica, I started it last year. For many years, it was just an idea. I used to be part of like a church where I was in charge of like kids and stuff like that. Kind of like a leader here and there. Eventually, I started to look into other religions and open my mind a little to other possibilities. And that's when I was like, you know what? I don't think there's one religion that is like the truth, in my opinion, respectfully. And I just started reading. And I used to tell people that in my circle, like my findings or, what I was experiencing, and they would resonate with it. And eventually a friend's like, why don't you do like YouTube videos? I'm like, absolutely not. I'm super shy. There's no way. And then she's like, well, just record your voice. And I was like, okay, podcasting is trending right now. And funny thing is, I actually started just recording audio. So my first episodes are just on Spotify, not YouTube. I was really like, I don't want to show myself, insecurities. But people started resonating with my words. And eventually I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep going. I feel like this is what I should be doing. I do talk about healing, spirituality, relationships. I think those topics are really... I have a lot of experience in those topics. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for a year and 3 months now. It's going well. I'm meeting a lot of great people alongside. A lot of people. I was like, just like Jen, not only is she another podcaster, but like she's in the same niche, very open-minded, not, closed off, regardless of like what each other believes in. So yeah, I'm excited to see where that podcast journey takes me. I don't think it's the ending, it's the beginning of something, whatever it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And I can tell how much love you have for your podcast. And that's so important because a lot of people think everybody has a podcast, or let me just start a podcast and like, I'm going to get rich quick, or I'm going to get famous like super fast. I just have to do it. And it's like, no, it's a grind. You have to do it for the love of the game first. Like, it takes a long time for a podcast to pop off. If it even does, because our subjects are so niche.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not like for everybody, and that's okay. Yeah.
I totally agree. I feel like my name, Alpha Bella y Mystica, I wanted to talk about like business and feminine energy and all of that. And I was like, wait a minute, but 40% of my stats is males.
Really?
So why am I going to target just the females if the male are listening to, you know? So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to focus so much on one niche. It's whatever's coming out, you know, like whatever the situation is rising, you know, relationships, or right now there's a lot of like I don't really like to talk about politics, but I like to bring the like social, like human services type of perspective, like as a human rather than like a political viewpoint. So yeah, that's where I go off of.
Yeah. I know it's really hard to talk about podcasts. I mean, about politics, because on the one hand, it's like everyone hears about politics all the time. It's exhausting. You don't want to be another voice, but there are some things that are just really important. So, you know, when it's your show, you find the balance. Yeah. So since you are open-minded to a few like different, you know, spiritual topics, occult topics, what do you think about astrology?
Astrology, I've looked into very lightly. I don't have a lot of knowledge on it to the point where I'm like, I know this. But like I said, I'm very open-minded. Very open-minded. I was part of the church for maybe 10 years. And my family wasn't religious. It was just me.
Oh, wow.
And then I started looking into like ancestral. So I'm Mexican. I was like, I want to know about my ancestors. And I think that opened a door to like, you know, something else. And I'm open to it. I just don't have enough knowledge on it.
That's so funny. You and I are very, very similar in that I also am from Mexican heritage, but I was also the spiritual one. My parents, like, they didn't push me to go to church. Like, I was the one that wanted it to, like, because I was just born a spiritual being, just like you. But then we dove really deep into it and we're like, some things just aren't making sense. I think I talked about it on your podcast, and then I've been talking a lot recently with some other folks that astrology is the only religion that didn't tell me shut up and believe. And it's not even a religion, it's a mix between like a science and then an observational art. But yeah, I really love astrology because it helps me make sense of the world, timing, anchor myself in like, this will pass. Everything is a transit, everything is temporary. Like, find the future silver linings to hold on to.
Yeah. Amazing way to put astrology into one context.
Yeah. Have you ever looked at your birth chart?
I'm not gonna lie. I've used like ChatGPT, but of course that doesn't compare to someone actually sitting down and explaining. So no.
Yeah, I know. A lot of folks do go to ChatGPT, and I understand. So when I was learning astrology, like, you can either learn under someone, but that can get very expensive very quickly, or you could like check out books, but then you don't really know who the author is. So on the internet, like, there are so many good free resources. That's how I started. But I started before AI. So I read a lot of articles, and I did have to read each thing like piece by piece, and then look up like, in what context does this make sense with this planet and this thing. So ChatGPT, I can understand, is very tempting because it tells you everything at once. And I'm not going to knock it. It might be a good jumping off point, but then if you really want to get into astrology, it's like a devotion. Like, you have to study.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's for the people that like studying, because it's a lot of studying all the time. But this is your birth chart. Have you ever seen it in this format with the circle?
Yes, I just
don't know.
don't understand.
Yeah, I know. It looks like a trip, but we will go into it. So basically, this is a 360 wheel of the universe when you were born. When you were born, we're going to anchor that point in the sky right here in the ascendant or your rising sign. So that's why astrologers are really picky with like when and where were you born, because we have to look at the latitude and longitude and then like place that, basically that point, and then take a snapshot of the sky that way. So when you were born, the eastern horizon was in Sagittarius, specifically 1 degree Sagittarius. So you are a Sagittarius rising. And then you already know that you are a Capricorn sun.
Yeah.
And then your moon, which is your emotions, your inner world, is in Libra. And I'm also a Libra moon. So our inner worlds match very, very well.
Interesting.
But a lot of people, they grow up, they know their sun sign just because of their birthday.
Yes.
How do you feel about Capricorns? Do you resonate with the Capricorn stereotype?
I think in business area, yes. But in the like lack of emotion and no.
Yeah. So our sun sign, the one that most people know, is our ego, our expression, sort of like how we move. And then our moon sign is our inner world, like when we're safe, when we're comfortable, when we're not having to do anything productive, when we're just existing in a relaxed state. And then the rising sign is how we understand the world around us, information, like how we process information, and then our relationship to ourselves and our body. So with that, your sun sign, just to recap, is Capricorn, your moon sign is Libra, and then your rising sign is Sagittarius. Oh. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, yes, you are a very hardworking person with the sun in Capricorn. So when you're like, when it's business time, it's business, and I'm a whole nother person. Yes, that makes sense. The moon sign in Libra. So sometimes we can be born with a more immature expression of that when we are people pleasers. But then you take that strength. So it's like, from immature to mature energy, the mature energy is diplomacy. So growing up, would you say that you felt like you were a people pleaser, or you always wanted to make people happy?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. But that's not a bad thing once you realize, like, I need to set my boundaries here. And then it's like, I can de-escalate people. I can get people to open up. And it's like, okay, where are you coming from? Like, let's find a middle ground. So you're a good, like, negotiator.
Yeah.
And then with your Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius is very intelligent. It's the philosopher of the zodiac sign. They're also brave and adventurous. So it's like, yeah, let's go on an adventure. Let's like not limit ourselves to what life has like thrown at us. Just because life was like, here's your hand, the cards you were dealt doesn't mean like you have to keep playing those cards, which is where I think your open-mindedness comes from. And you're like, I'm not afraid to explore, whether it's geographically, philosophically, or anything else.
Yeah, that's very true. Deeply resonates with my personality and expressions.
Yeah. Do you like to travel?
I do. I am. I think that's part of my like adventure side of me. I'm like, let's take a weekend somewhere and just explore. Yeah, get to know different cultures, religions, traditions. I love it. I think.
What's been your favorite staycation and your favorite vacation?
Ooh. I think staycation would be like, well, here in California, like Pismo. I like Pismo because it's very low key, like no party life, very like chill. I love to like sit by the ocean and drink coffee. I'm like, that's my type of stuff. Vacation, probably Washington State. I would say for the same reasons, nature and stuff like that. But you get to explore different things that we don't have available here. Perhaps during like winter. So there's snow, different activities, and
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very exciting, very true to your Sagittarius self. So in astrology, we have our birth chart, which is our base energy, but then astrologers can also use it to find windows of opportunity and timing. So right now we have Jupiter, which has entered Leo, and it's going to be there for about a year. So Jupiter is a planet that amplifies both good and bad. So it's entering your 9th house of religion, philosophy, spirituality, personal development, and expansion. So you're going to go on this journey even more to like understanding yourself, pushing yourself to your limits. So yeah, I love that for you. Do you have any upcoming, like, I don't know, plans or courses or anything to do with like personal, professional development?
Since we've had our podcast, when I had you on you mentioned, I think that you took some classes with like some people online. And I was like, wait, I think that's my missing piece because I've been doing all this self-discovery for many years that I'm like, I feel like I need perhaps textual advice or books. All the knowledge that I've had is based off experience or other resources that I've used. But I'm like, maybe it's time to take a class or a course or, I've taken theology classes in college, but I'm like now in what I'm trying to like practice, So right now a little bit like I've been getting more into like intuition. I feel like I don't use like any tools. It's just my own intuition. But I feel like I'm wanting to go that route. It's just, I just haven't looked into it's necessary in order to like be able to teach. If podcasts, we're going on there, it's a conversation, but you also don't want to be saying the wrong stuff. Without credibility or,
Yeah, we have a fact check now because in the moment, like in a normal conversation that is not recorded, you could just be like, what is this again? And then look it up on your phone. And then it's really hard on a podcast, like to stop every 2 seconds and be like, let me fact check everything. So we just say it and we're like, but we'll fact check that later. And then we will correct ourselves at the end or in another episode and be like, circling back, that statistic was not 100% correct. Yeah. But that's exciting. Yeah, it's good to develop your intuition. There are so many different types of like divination tools or tools that help you get closer to, whatever works for you to receive messages from the universe. Like not every tool is for everybody. For me, tarot and astrology work really, really well. I know some people do like charm throwing, tea leaf reading, palmistry, like that's cool, but like that doesn't make as much sense as like these things. This is like riding a bicycle for me. Yeah. So when you're early on in your journey, if you do want to dabble in like what occult tools can I use or like what is the path for me, it's all about experimentation and seeing what you like.
Yeah, definitely. And just learning a little bit about myself more. Like I said, I am open to every religion just because I'm not sure on anything. So I'm still trying to find myself and see what I connect with.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have gone through my journey. Like in the beginning when I was like lost and leaving the church, it was like, what religion makes sense? And then I realized all religions are man-made and they're flawed. And I mean, astrology in the very beginning, like in ancient Mesopotamian or like Persian text, we've evolved from it. There are some things that are like, if you have this, you're going to be eaten by a snake or something, right? And it's like, that doesn't necessarily make sense for like Merced. We don't have any huge like, boas, king boas that are going to eat us or anything. But with that, that's why we have modern astrology now, because it like will evolve. And it's like, okay, through the power of observation, like what is the same and what is different from like ancient Mesopotamia and ancient Persia and all of that. So that's why I like it versus like other religions are like shut up and believe. So yeah. But there's beautiful things in every religion. I mean, even though I left the Catholic Church, there's still things that I love about it. I love it's so like ritualistic. There are like so many beautiful like artworks and like steps and ceremonies, and they also have their own calendar and they follow their own seasons, and it's like, damn, I love that. I just don't like being told what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it like forced to pick a side. I think that's where it's my biggest, like, I can love Jesus and still not be practicing everything you guys are practicing type of vibe.
Yeah. So I'm excited for Jupiter to amplify that, since you're on a spiritual quest to sort of expand your horizons. And then around the summer, like in August, we're going to have, which is when this episode is actually going to come out, but we're going to have some eclipses. So have you heard of eclipses in astrology?
No.
So eclipses in astrology will basically sort of like push you towards a direction very quickly. The best way that I love to explain it is using Mario Kart. Have you played Mario Kart before? You know the little section or strip of like rainbow, and you drive over it and it gives you a boost in a direction. So if you're already driving into it straight, then you'll boost straight. But if you come at it from like an angle, it'll boost you at whatever angle you're at. So just because it boosts you somewhere doesn't mean it's necessarily like what you want, or that you're forced to go in that direction, but it will still boost you closer to something. And then it's up to you, like, okay, I got fast forwarded here. Do I want to continue here, or do I want to make a U-turn? Anyway, for you, you're getting the eclipses that are going to start happening in your 3rd house and your 9th house, which is also where Jupiter is going to be. So the 3rd house is about community, communication, studying, more like congregation, like local community. And then the 9th house is more expansive, far away community. So for you specifically, I could see that as dabbling both in like online community and in-person community. Yeah.
Wow.
And something that we talked about on your podcast is that it's kind of hard to find local community.
Yes.
It's a lot easier to find an online community because you just look up like, who else is into this? And it's so easy for people around the world to be like, I'm also into that, versus like you go in person, you're like, who's into this? And then most people can look at you like, what?
Yeah, definitely. That was like one of my goals for this year. I was like, I need to get out there in Merced. This is my community. Like, I should be, kind of funny. When I was a kid in high school, I was part of a newspaper. It was called We Said. So shout out to We Said. I used to write articles for the community. I was very involved. And I was like, what happened to that? Like, I need to step out, especially now that I'm trying to like connect with more people. So there was like a women's event not too long ago, a couple months ago. I was like, I got to push myself. I can't just expect to connect with people and not reach out. And yeah, I got to meet a lot of people through that space. And I was like, see, it's not that hard. But it's necessary. Online, it's easier. You just follow them, they follow you back, and it's like, you know, support each other. But physically going and attending, it takes the work.
When you started your spiritual journey of being like, you know, I'm going to explore a different path, did you feel like it was a lonely journey?
Yes. Just because I said, like, my family, they weren't religious. So I attended church by myself for many, many years. I also was in a relationship where the person was completely different faith, very, very stuck in their own ways. And I was trying to figure out what I was going towards. And I felt like everybody had their own religion, you know? You try to fit here and they're like, no, you have to do it like this. I went somewhere else. No, you can't. So yes, it was a lot of like lonely times, but I think it was necessary because a lot of outside voices can kind of cloud your own thoughts too. So yeah, I think it was a lot of alone time, but it wasn't all bad.
Yeah. Alone time is sometimes necessary. We can't always be surrounded by people because, like you said, then you hear other people's voices, but not your own inner voice, not your own intuition, for sure. Yeah. When we come back from this ad break, I'm excited to talk about some more exciting things happening in your future. We'll be right back. Today's episode is brought to you by us, Kythera Collective. If you've been vibing with the energy of the show, then you're going to love the Kythera Club over on Patreon. It's a space that I built for the cosmic, the curious, and the slightly chaotic. You know who you are. With 3 delicious tiers to choose from, we start with the chocolate level at $4 a month, which gains you access to weekly horoscopes and the exclusive Unhinged podcast, where I say things that don't make it to this main feed. It's sweet, it's spicy, and it's just for you. Next, we have the café level at $7 a month. This is where things really start to get cooking. You'll receive access to exclusive workshops, monthly virtual hangouts, and a private Discord community where you can chat directly with me and receive exclusive behind-the-scenes updates. It's magical, cozy, and a little unhinged in the best way. Finally, we have the tequila level. This is the VIP lounge. At $25 a month, you'll receive everything from the previous tiers, plus a personal 15-minute one-on-one session with myself or David each month, and discounts if you want to extend the session. It's a whole vibe and a powerful way to receive personalized guidance. So if you've been laughing along with us, crying or rage screaming in agreement, come hang out with us at the Kythera Club. Head over to patreon.com/JenCalo and choose your tier. If you want to sponsor an episode and advertise with us, go to our website, www.jencalo.com. All right, now back to the show. Welcome back, everybody. So, you said that you needed that alone time, but recently you just got engaged. So you're going to have your new, built-in best friend, partner, husband coming soon. How are you feeling?
Thank you. I'm so excited. I think this is a new journey, definitely. I find marriage very sacred. And, in this era, a lot of people are like, oh, a divorce, you just don't get along. For me, it's much more than just being with someone. It's spiritually, you're connecting with someone in a different aspect. Emotionally, spiritually connected with the person. So I'm excited to see where this is going, but I'm also scared.
Yeah, it's scary. So that's why people get cold feet. They're like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is such a big commitment. But it's also exciting and fun, and anything worth having is worth working at. Like, it's not easy, but that's the point. You choose each other every day instead of just like, I choose you one time.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's because you get with the person, and in my case, this person is from a different culture, different ethnicity, necessarily religion. I feel like we're very similar. We both come from Catholic backgrounds. And so in ourselves, in our beings, we still have those ideas like installed into us, but he's not closed-minded. And that for me changes everything, because I can fully be myself and he will support me. Whereas other situations I've been, it's like, you're either this or we're not going to do this. You know what I mean? Like, yes, we're becoming one, but we're still our individual persona.
Yeah, like, if you love me, you'll change. I've definitely had some exes guilt me into like, oh, if you love me, you'll do this for me. And it's like, no.
Loving me is choosing me as I am and respecting one another. And I think this person, I had the idea of the podcast. We have a business together. It's an auto body shop. And he's like, I'm going to build you an office here where you can do your podcast. And I was like, that's all I need. You supported my dreams. I I spoke of the idea and you planted the seed for me. Now it's for me to grow it.
Yeah.
And together, I think it's really well. It's going really, really well. And
very similarly to me and David, we don't see eye to eye 100% because like I'm more mystical, he's more skeptical, but he still respects me. And I mean, yeah, he also did all of this. Like I couldn't have done all of this without him. So I love a supportive partner. Yay!
Yes, it's everything, honestly. I think, I don't know, it's my personal opinion, but like even when you pray or you meditate or you ask, when there's two people like in alignment with each other, it's a lot more powerful. You know, it's more than one person. You know, one person can doubt a little, but when there's two people, unstoppable.
Yeah, it's a different type of connection when you spiritually connect.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Do you have a date for the wedding?
We don't.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. We got engaged in May, and we kind of been taking it slow. You know, I feel like we have other priorities. I think that's where like my Capricorn side comes in, where I'm like, I'm focused on business right now.
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking about. Eventually, we will see. Perhaps next year or.
Yeah. So it's funny that you say that because actually next year or the year after that look good for a union. So each year there are different themes. So for example, at 40, it's a fifth house year for everybody. So it's going to be themes of like children, hobbies, creativity, pleasure, dating, etc. But the exact like flavor or which of those themes is most important is dependent on the person and then like their rising sign, because then there's also like a sign and a planetary component to it. So you were born January 2nd. So basically your cycles in terms of like your themes, they're called perfection years, are almost identical to the calendar year, which is very cool. So this year for you is a sixth house year. So what that means, and then because you are a Sagittarius rising, this is a Taurus year for you. So the sixth house is about health, wellness, routines, and being of service, and then pets if you have pets. But yeah, this year, like you said, it's more important. Like you have other priorities, like maybe you're on a health journey. You own a business, so you are of service to people. So maybe like growing that business or anything else that you have in that realm. But then on your next birthday, it's going to become a seventh house year. And that will be in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, which is very communicative, intelligent, but also about like putting things into order, organizing. So if you wanted to, you know, have a union in 2027, that might be good because it's like, oh, seventh house, unions, contract, marriage. Or in 2028, you'll be in an eighth house year. And that's the house of what I'm going to call commitments. So that could be commitment to each other where like you legally get married. And so then your assets mingle. You can also see like stocks, inheritance, debt, ancestry, like a lot of stuff in the eighth house, but specifically thinking about your love life and all of these themes. Like it makes sense that this year you're like, we got to focus on some other things in like the physical, tangible realm, because when you look at houses 1 through 6, the circle is divided into half. Houses 1 through 6 are on the bottom half. So the bottom has to do with physical things that you can see and experience. So it's a little bit more concerned with like the material or how you move through the world. And then houses 7 through 12, the top half of the circle, have to do more with like connecting with others or connecting with yourself spiritually, like more astral, intangible themes. So yeah, your intuition is leading you to the right timing. It's already aligned with your astrology.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, you are currently in your Saturn return. That is very exciting. Have you heard of this concept?
Oh, no.
So a Saturn return is basically like your spiritual adulthood or like your spiritual prefrontal cortex clicking. So a Saturn return means that Saturn returned to the place of your birth, and it's between 27 and 30. And it's like the whole time that Saturn is in that sign. So you were born under Saturn in Aries, and Saturn is currently in Aries. Wow. Yeah. So I don't know if you've been feeling like a lot of changes, a lot of seriousness. It dominates a little bit of your 4th house having to do with family, but then a lot of your 5th house of like children, dating, hobbies, creativity, and then also partnership, but more of like the fun aspect of partnership instead of like the serious aspect of partnership. Remind me, are you a mom?
No.
No, you're not a mom. Okay. Do you want kids?
I do. I mean, it's been in the talks, and that's crazy because I've been feeling like I'm in the mom energy, but sometimes it's not physically like being a mom, or more like creating something. But I've had a weird encounters recently that I'm like, I should be careful.
Do tell. What happened? Give us the tea.
Me and my fiance went to eat sushi a couple months ago, and there was a family. We were waiting by the door to get seated, and there was a little family, 2 little kids, maybe like a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and one of the little girls, she's like, "Where's your daughter?" She looked at me. She's like, "Where's your daughter?" And then the mom's like, "Mija, she doesn't have any daughters." I was like, "I don't have any kids." And she's like, "Yes, she does." I look at my man. I'm like, "Should we like go test?" And I kid you not, Jen, it happened to us again, where we were getting seafood. It was super late. They were about to close. They were getting pickup. Another little kid's like pointing at us and is like, "Baby." And I'm like, okay, I'm spiritual. I don't think this is a coincidence. Maybe there's a baby spirit around us, or I don't know. But I'm like, I'm scared because I'm not planning right now. But I'm also not closed off to the idea of like, perhaps, yeah.
Well, this transit takes over the course of like 3 years, so you don't.
It makes sense.
Yeah. And also free will. If you don't want kids, you don't. Yeah, you don't need to. I had a 5th house transit happen to me, a different one, but still like it amplified the themes of the 5th house. And instead of me being like a literal mother, I ended up working with foster youth. I ended up having this like sudden urge of like, I need to work with foster youth. And I was a court appointed special advocate for 2 years. Yeah, it was very difficult, but it was very rewarding. And yeah, so for me, that's how like that parenthood, not parenthood happened. But that is so interesting with the kids that they're like, "Where's your baby?"
I was like, little kids, like, I don't doubt you. I really don't, because I used to be that kid that used to speak things out. And it's interesting. It's very curious. I'm like, it's not something light for me, but I'm like, whatever happens, happens. Am I trying? No. I'm very traditional. I would love to get married first.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not closed off to the idea of becoming a mother. And although my business is my baby, right? Like you said, it could be something else too. And that energy is coming in differently.
Yeah, when the time is right. Yeah. When David and I were first dating, he lived in an apartment complex, and I think we were only together for like 1 month at that point. And there was a little kid running around and came up to him and said, "Daddy?" And I was like, "Is there something you need to tell me?" And he was like, "I swear, no tengo un niño en el barrio. I don't have a kid in the neighborhood." And then the little kid came up to me and said, "Daddy?" And then their mom grabbed them and was like, "Sorry, they're calling everybody daddy." I was like, okay.
It's like, watch your kid. You almost got me breaking up.
Yeah. But in due time,
Yeah.
let's pull some tarot cards and see what the tarot cards have to say. What do you think about tarot?
I have mixed feelings. Like, I'm the type to like have only gone to one person, and this person, I've asked for 4 readings within 5 years. So it's like I don't really trust people. Or secondly, like you don't really know who does it genuinely, or it's to scam or to. But I believe it in the art.
Yeah. We've done episodes where we've talked about, research who you're going to. Maybe they could be legitimate, but you don't like their style. That's totally okay. Yeah, I understand. I also am a little like scared and skeptical to go with someone. But whenever I feel like I need a reading, I'm like, you know what, I'll try it. And then I'll learn if they're my style or not. But yeah, I love tarot. And especially if you know the meanings, like if someone pulls the 3 of Swords, which is literally like a heart with 3 swords in it, and it's like they love you so much. It's like I don't know about that. But because you're intuitive, I will have you pick your own cards, and we'll see how this goes. But we will pick for an area of focus, a piece of advice, and next steps. So the first card that we're going to pull is for an area of focus. So let your intuition lead you.
And just like, I feel like the Empress might come out. We'll see.
That would be wild. All right. We got the King of Wands reversed. Yeah. Maybe the Empress will come out later. So an area of focus, like you said, there are other things, especially in the physical world, that you need to get in order first. You already know what to do, whether it's like your business, your health. It's like there's something where you need to kind of like organize and reorient yourself and be like, okay, let me lock in. Let me focus. Okay.
I'm like, not a good start.
It's fine. We all have something that we can work on. So then, general advice from the tarot. Ooh, we got the Queen of Swords. I love this. So the Queen of Swords is very analytical. The sword is also the pen. So this might be like maybe you actually need to sit down and like journal or like actually make like a physical plan or schedule things in your calendar. Yeah, so that's very exciting. And then let's pick a final card. All right. Ooh, we got the Moon. So with the Moon, it says, don't rush things. Things will reveal themselves. Sometimes when we're in a path where we're like, I'm building this, but I don't know if it's going to work until it's go time. It's like a tunnel. You just have to keep going and trust yourself, and eventually you'll see the realization. So this is saying, trust your intuition, and eventually the truth will be revealed. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad that you were open to it. Now I'm going to have you pick a different type of card. So there are tarot cards which use the tarot, like what we just used. And then there are oracle cards, which are simple messages that you really just like get everything from the card instead of having to study the symbolism. But we have your affirmation. I am whole. I am perfectly created. I am a wonderfully unique individual. Every lesson I have learned, every risk I have taken, and every achievement I have made contributed to who I am. Because of that, I am whole.
Oh.
Yeah. Everything that you've done, everything that you've learned, everything that you've survived are culminating and leading up to your greatness in the present and future moment.
That's very real. I think everything we go through makes the person that we are now. Good and bad.
Yeah.
Very true.
So what do you see or plan for the future of Alpha Bella y Mystica and yourself as a person too?
I think I need to, if I really want to do Alpha Bella y Mystica as like a business opportunity, I kind of have to take it seriously as if it was a business. Right now, it's more of a creative outlet. I'm here and there, experimenting, expressing myself, but it's not really like organized and set, I think if I did want to do something with it, I would have to pursue that route and be more organized, take it more seriously. And, having a business is not just putting a mic up and speaking into it. There's cameras, there's equipment, the setup. It costs money. It's not just,
Yeah.
And obviously, like, you want to change it around, you have to invest. That's a business. In hopes it brings you back, financial, reciprocated in financial matters. For me right now, I didn't see it as that. It was more like, oh, I'm going to try it. But I think changing that perspective could possibly grow it into something. I don't know, honestly, where it might take me. I'm testing the waters. But I think for my personal goals, like, I would love to continue in business. So whether it's with this or like entrepreneurship, I'm very much like here, there, different types of sources of income. I'm not a particular person that likes to just have one 9 to 5 and then go every day at the same time. And you know what I mean? I'm much more of like, okay, let me see, what can I do? I had a lash business not too long ago. It was going great. People were buying. But let's be honest, was I going to make a living off of selling $10 lashes? Probably not. I would have to invest a lot more than here and there. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think this is like a part of a like entrepreneurship, something that is going to cause something else, connections. Who knows? I could possibly do something else, real estate. But yeah, that's kind of what I have in mind right now.
Yeah, you just feel like whatever it is, that you need to get more serious in that realm. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see whether it's a podcast, whether it's something else. But yeah, I know you'll do great. You're an intelligent person.
I've also, like I've shared a little bit, I'm in that intuitive era of myself. I've been practicing intuition, manifestation, all of that for a couple years now. But it's for my own self, where I'm like, I have friends that are like, dude, you should teach others. I was like, I don't feel credited enough than just sharing my experience and telling others, learn from me because I experienced it, So that's where we talked earlier about having that like credited sources that could possibly allow me to teach others or pursue that route.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited to see what the future holds. Again, it is your destiny. So whatever you choose to do, whether it's you want to pour your heart and your energy into, maybe becoming an intuitive service provider, or if it's something more like Capricorn coded, like real estate, or like expanding the auto body business that you have, like whatever it is, you'll do great. Is there anything else that you want to shout out? Do you want to shout out your auto body business? If people need their car repaired, I mean, hey, it's Mercury retrograde when we're recording.
Sure. Well, I do have the podcast Alpha Bella y Mystica on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify, Apple Podcast. So if you guys want to listen to that, we do have Jen's episode. It was just posted not too long ago. I would love for you guys to listen to it. It was super cool. We had a great time. And then, like I said, we also have Zyzek's Collision Center in Turlock. So if you guys need any body work done on cars, we work with insurance or cash.
Nice.
And thank you so much, Jen, for having me. My first episode, it was great. It was fun, very warm. I was like not stressed at all.
Oh, good.
You make the environment feel welcoming, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, we always try to be a good vibe here. So
Yeah.
Yay, you did your first podcast as a guest. Yeah. So everybody check her out. I'll have everything in the show notes. And thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you for the next episode. Bye.